I'll call the meeting to order. The Geneva Town Council meetings are now live streamed and recorded. Your participation in the meeting is your consent to the recording and rebroadcasting of the meeting on the town's YouTube channel. We'd all stand and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please have a seat. All the town council members are present, along with our clerk treasurer and our town attorney and honored guests. Approval of the minutes for the December 30th, 2025 end of the year public meetings and the January 5th, 2026 executive session. Do I have a motion to approve as submitted?
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor of approving the minutes as submitted, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passed. The next order is the reorganization of the council for 2026. We need to elect 2 new council members of president and vice president. I will now open the office of president for nominations.
I nominate Lynn Burry for 2026.
Second.
Are there any additional nominations?
Move the nomination be closed.
We have a motion to close the nominations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor of me retaining the presidency for 2026, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Vice President, I open it for nominations for Vice President.
Nominate Andrew, Vice President.
Second. Are there any additional nominations? Is there a motion to close nominations?
I make that motion.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor of Andrew remaining as Vice President for 2026, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have now an endorsement of the fire department's elections. John Schock as chief, Tony Lockridge as first assistant, John Patch as second assistant.
I think you meant Mark Schock, you said John Schock.
I'm sorry, I meant Mark Schock. Did I say John?
Yeah.
I wrote down John in my notes here for whatever reason. My mistake, John. And Mark Schock. Do I have a nomination to endorse the fire department's officers?
I'll make a motion, we approve the appointments given to us for the fire chiefs.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? If not, all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
signify by aye. All the committees that we currently have require no action at this time. None of their terms expire until 12/31/26. The only other motion we need is to retain all current employees in their present positions. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. There are been no requests for citizens' comments at this meeting.
Lynn, we typically will appoint the marshal every year. That's always another appointment every year, the marshal. Just like the fire chief, the marshal is an appointment every year.
Okay, I overlooked that.
Well, what about town attorney?
And the town attorney.
Town attorney as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want the job?
I'll take it.
Do I have a motion to appoint our current marshal and town attorney?
So moved.
I'll second.
Sorry, I missed that.
All right. Just wanted to get it before.
Thank you for calling to my attention. If there's no further discussion, all in favor of retaining Nick and Marshall Booth, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. We already covered the deputies with the other motion. I would,
Yeah.
as employees, okay. Again, no formal requests have been made for citizen comments. Monthly department reports, police.
Are you offering gifts since you're moving in? Just checking. You got all the numbers, just on the report, we did get the initial quote, or first quote for IT services at the new building. I don't know if you want to discuss it now, or you wanted to hold that till later,
We
or,
can hold that till then.
okay. Other than that, we finished the year out, everything went well. We helped with the youth council's Cookies with Claws. That was a magnificent event. We are finished up Brad Schuler. Brad was our one of our interviewees for the full-time position. After he wasn't appointed as a full-time officer, he picked up or asked about becoming a reserve. So we're finishing his training up, and he should be good to go within the next week or so
As a reserve?
as a reserve officer. Other than that, and that's the building up there. Other than that, December was pretty calm with the holidays and everything. Just kind of finish out the year on the down low and wait to see what 2026 brings.
Sounds good. Thank you. Fire. Mark? Son of John?
Hello. So I just want to thank everybody for being able to come out to our Cookies with Santa breakfast in December. Also to report, January 31st, there will also be a breakfast that Saturday morning at the fire station, and it is a benefit breakfast to help the owners of the Limberlost Diner here in town, as they had some medical complications. So we're going to do a benefit breakfast to help them in their time of need. Also this week, the bathroom remodel project is getting started. So hopefully we'll meet our deadline of the beginning of April to get that completed. So those are the only two items I have to bring forth to the council other than my report. Is there any questions that you have for me?
I have a question. How are you coming? Oh, did you already say you're still doing specs for the fire truck?
Yeah, the specs for the fire truck to replace our current truck is still in process with the holidays and people being in and out of availability during that time. It's made it challenging to get that committee together to review that. I hope by next council meeting to have that completed and brought to the council. So.
And with the bathroom remodel, did they give us any idea on how long they feel it might take once they get up and going?
No, I just informed them that the deadline is the beginning of April. So obviously with winter project now being an indoor project, I think it may go faster depending on the weather. If the weather is nice outside, they might prioritize some of their outside work while the weather is nice. But it didn't sound like it was going to be a challenge for them. So hopefully it all goes well.
Any other questions? Thanks, Mr. Utilities? Brent?
Everybody else was pretty quiet in December. We did have a few issues with lift stations. We had to replace a couple pumps. We did have one lift station within the last week here went down. Both pumps went out. We had to have Indiana Pump Works come in and do some emergency work on that because the guide rails were rotted off at the top. So we had to have new brackets put in to hold the guide rails in place. Not sure what that cost is going to be. It's probably going to be in the neighborhood of $5,000, but we didn't have a choice. We had to have something because both pumps quit working.
These are the rails that we use to raise and lower the pumps into place.
Yes, correct. And we had to replace one of those pumps, and we got that operational again today. Other than that, I think the only other issue we're going to be running into here is we're going to be running a little bit low on salt for the streets. So we may be okay, we may not, I don't know, but something I'm trying to look into to see where we can get some more if we need to.
There is a source available if we need, there are a couple different sources.
Yes.
You dealt with in the past?
Yes, I just don't know what the cost would be on it yet. I've got some emails out there, I haven't got any responses yet.
When we have nice days, will we be able to start doing the repairs? I know you're short a guy right now as far as some of the maintenance stuff on those hydrants.
We can start doing some repairs. I did get some locates called in for some of them, so we can do some replacements when the weather is fit to do that.
And we're gonna have cold this weekend again, so who knows what.
Right.
Welcome to Indiana.
Right, yes.
Any other questions for Trent? Thank you. Under new business, we have a tort claim from Brightspeed, a new one that we're going to deal with, but we just found out today that our number 2 that we had rejected, they rejected. So
I'll keep pushing them. I wasn't impressed with their response, so I'll respond to their response and see where we go from there.
yeah, I was not impressed with it either.
Yeah.
They were very ambiguous, vague on their location, and they're still insisting on an address that doesn't exist. But they say on or near, and that can be subjective.
It reads like a canned response. I'm sure that's what they always respond with.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
And then we got another one. How much time do we have to consider the?
90 days, under Indiana law, we have 90 days from the date it was received. I'm not sure when it was received exactly.
I'm sorry, the second one?
The third.
The third one.
You just got the third one in December, but it's from 2024.
Right. But when it was received, that starts the clock. So we have 90 days to respond.
It was received
And-
12/4,
Okay,
or that's when they typed the letter.
yeah. And a non-response is considered a refusal.
So we can take no action and
But this
So
one,
we have
we
two
told,
different companies from Brightspeed, or they're both,
They use 2 different third-party administrators for their claims.
so they got
And I think
this
they have the same address.
JNR, and they also have this one, the TCC is a
Correct.
different one, and both of them don't like the way we've done this.
2 separate projects, 2 separate claims and incidents.
Trent,
So one's one project, one's the other?
Exactly.
Okay.
I got a question for you. We need to make so this stops, all right? So I'm thinking, I want your impressions of this too, but if we can get the locates in and the photos and everything prior to digging anything, right?
Yes.
So we need to make this stop.
Yes.
And I don't think that you guys are at fault at all. That's why we're disputing these. It's just that we got to take a different approach to how we're going to keep this from happening.
Right, exactly.
So we had the one where you had taken the pictures where we had a little bit of paint and a flag, but the hole was already dug. And what I'd like to see is, I'd like to see before all the lines are out, maybe even distances from a specific point, so that when we go back to it, because I could look at that and a first-year law student could probably say a little paint and a flag.
Yeah.
That's the
okay,
challenge in a case like this.
But the thing is that what we need to do is, I think, as far as this right now, especially Brightspeed, we just need to figure out how we're going to take some pre-post photos that before any of the digging's done. And I'm sure we can. It's not hard.
proactive.
Why can't we insist on Brightspeed having the rep there?
I don't know.
Is that possible?
With this newest claim, though, we're not disputing it yet, right?
The third claim, actually, based on the evidence presented with that locate ticket,
Yeah.
my opinion is it is a valid claim.
Yeah,
Let's see here, my notes.
this is one we dug.
The locate ticket was submitted May 20th of 2024, meaning that excavation should not have begun until Thursday, May 23rd. And it looks like, based on the ticket, when the contractor responded, the Brightspeed contractor, when they responded to do the locate, That was on May 22nd. The excavation had already begun and the cable had already been cut at that point.
I don't think we can dispute this one.
That's my opinion, yeah.
Do I have a
Unless
motion?
there's evidence to the contrary, but that, from what they presented, that's my opinion.
Is there any evidence to the contrary on that one that we're aware of? One of them unfortunate circumstances?
We need to.
Most of those times where they changed the ruling. It used to be, when you send in a locate, it was 2 days from the time you called it in, and then they changed it to where it's, if you called in after 7 o'clock that morning, it adds a whole other day to it. So it was one of them circumstances where, I called it in this day, and I assumed that it was supposed to be done this day, and
Regardless.
Okay.
yeah, it was one of those, where they changed things, and I always get notifications, right?
Do I have a motion to approve that particular claim?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Second, or opposed, no? Okay. We'll still work with the second one and try and get that resolved, and we'll pay this third one for $3,518.79. I was contacted by Shelley Bright from the Adams County Clerk's Office requesting us approving contract which they will bring down to use the old doctor's office for a voting center for the primary on May 4th and the 5th. They would set up on the 4th, and then they would have the primary we'd have done on the 5th. If we don't, there will not be a voting center in Geneva. They would have to go
I'll
to
make a
Bern.
motion, we approve it.
Harlan?
I'll second that motion.
Agnes? Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Shelley will either be contacting you or me about this. So. Alrighty, old business, moving on. Workforce manager hiring update, interviews are complete. We're going to have another executive session this coming Monday, January 19th at 5 p.m. here in the town council room for additional discussion, and then we will make an announcement as to our selection at a later date. Hopefully get this line or closed out here soon. Pacer certification stipend, some discussion and a decision. Dan, you kind of started.
Yeah, what we're gonna need to do is figure out a little bit how we're gonna do this. Chances are we're probably not gonna go back to the hourly rate. We've had some conversation about paying hourly rate like we did spray certification. Probably gonna end up coming up with a determination on what a yearly stipend to holding the passer certification is gonna be instead of by the hour. We haven't really delved into what that number would be, but that's kind of what our thinking is at this point in time. I know Trent holds it, and there's some continuing education, but what we need to do as a council is try to figure out what we think that was worth.
Do you want to have you and another council member get together and come up with a determination to bring to council?
Yeah.
Who would like to help Stan do that?
I think Arlen.
Stan and Andrew?
Yep, that'd be fun.
Okay, good deal. Have something for us at the next meeting?
You got it?
Doctor's office updates. Back to you, Dwayne.
As far as the building, we got our first estimate as far as IT services to get put in over there. It come in at like 13.2 to do that. Now the company that county IT sent down was the same company that came in and done everything in this building. Told one, just for the price, would be just the quality of service we feel that we got with them when they done all this stuff, that we're definitely gonna be seeking out another quote, so they're supposed to follow up. I talked with Bob Hakes, we're gonna be following up and trying to get some other options and so forth to get internet services into that building. They felt that quote was significantly higher than what they anticipated. He said in the quote there was a lot of extra stuff put in there. And that he felt that that would be a worst case, end of the road, everything falls down kind of thing quote. So we're taking another look at that and see what we can get, figure out with that.
Are we gonna have to move this box over there, or?
No, none of this stuff will leave here. That's everything in the back half of the building is tied into that box. So if they rip that out and any offices go back in here, then you're gonna end up rewiring it all again. So it's my understanding that that box will stay back there if, when we get moved, if city offices go back there, they can bridge across and everything will be wired in already.
Will we pull signal from here to over there?
I have no idea what.
At one point that was mentioned, I'm just bringing it up because I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know. I got lost in the conversation
Okay.
when they were talking all their IT super tech stuff. So,
Welcome to our world.
yeah. The other thing is Gersh has come over, gave us a quote, $1,350 to do all the carpets in the building, to get those cleaned.
1,300.
Yeah, $1,350. I think I gave Tina a quote, so.
Think we want to clean them before we do the mold remediation?
No.
That's here.
In the building over there.
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's different, yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, the carpets in this building need done at some point. too.
Yeah.
You don't do that until they're done moved in.
No.
So, at some point, we'd like to do that before we move into it. However, I mean, some of the stuff on where the tile floors are will be okay. We want to do some painting and so forth in there before we have the carpets cleaned.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. There's just some cosmetic stuff. We just need to go over and we need to get some drywall patch and some paint. And I think we can make some pretty considerable progress ourselves with that.
Are you having to reconfigure any of the floor plan?
No, everything that we're looking at now is pretty much going to stay in place where it's at, other than the fact we need to put one small wall in just to create a lock secured area.
In between it'll be back there in that hallway between the conference room and that part of the doctor's office.
There's an area, cutout area back there. I don't know what they have, if they have file cabinets or whatever. We're going to put a wall in there and make an evidence room. Other than that,
So
we can,
the police department is entirely segregated from the rest of the.
so we can, the way it is now, that back room that they use for voting and so forth, right now, with just closing one door, it can be completely secured. They can still do their voting. They'll have a small kitchenette in there to be able to do all their stuff and not affect anything on that side.
Do you need help with painting and stuff when the time comes?
Oh, we will eventually. I mean, anybody that really likes to paint or wants to help out, buy some pizzas. It's like with the youth council. It's always, we'll do this and we'll go to Casey's and buy some pizzas. But we'll get to that. Right now, we've got to go in and take a lot of the stuff in the doctor's office, the containers for the sharp boxes, a lot of stuff like that is still on the wall. So we're going to take all that stuff down and then we'll start patching and sanding and then buy some painting. I think we're going to try to pretty much color match what we've got over there. That way it's not difficult to cover and it should go hopefully pretty quick.
Do we have to do anything with the restrooms?
As far as,
Any kind of renovations or anything with them, or?
the restrooms out front, I would like to, depending on how we can, that'll be a discussion that we probably need to sit down with a couple folks, how we configure everything. Like at some time, we may want to look at securing the restrooms out front if we're going to leave that lobby open like we do here for people to come in to call if they need us. If that's going to be open all the time and those restrooms are open all the time, I would be concerned with some of the people that may end up in there or the messes are are made. I mean, when they come in here, they just come into the lobby and that's all it is. But if we could secure those 2 front restrooms, then during voting time or different times, we could open that up and utilize, but I would hate to leave those open all the time. They've got, we've got the public restrooms, that are over here that are open, so.
What about all that extra wiring and everything that's there in the mechanical room? Is that, a lot of that gonna be removed or need to be removed?
Yeah, they're talking about rerunning all the wiring and stuff,
So all that stuff will be going away, that's just hanging there?
Yeah.
Going to replace the door on the north end of the building.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, the door at the north end, we quoted that a while back, over a year ago, initially, and then we held off because we
Per
weren't,
door.
how much was it?
I thought it was about 100.
The issue with that door is, I think when we replace the door, we need to do something with the sidewalk. Trent and I talked a little bit, but that sidewalk that comes from the parking area into the north end of the building slants down, so all the water runs directly into the door and right into the building. So, we need to make some kind of cut, put a small drain or something across that concrete to catch that water. I think that would help the survivability of that door.
Is that sidewalk, is there a curb, a step up curb or anything there, or is that flush with the pavement?
It goes up to a sidewalk and then there's a curb. There's a curb in the parking area where the sidewalk is, but this runs from the sidewalk that runs east-west along the parking area down to the building, and it's a straight slope straight into that door. So,
French drain or something like that?
yeah, something.
Yeah,
That's what we were talking about, is kind of put a grate across there to catch the majority of that water. Like I said, right now, you could open the door on a rainy day and we could probably, kayak through the building. I think other than that, like I said, mostly cosmetic inside. I think on the north side, there's one of the lights that's starting to hang off the building that needs something done with it.
And then grind the old sign off the front of the building, the remnants of the old sign.
Yeah, that's, so it's nice that Brad's coming on the Department as a reserve because he also has a side business doing siding cleaning, house cleaning, power washing and so forth. And he said he'd be more than happy to bring his stuff over, and since he's part of the department now, and pressure wash that stuff off the front.
If we put up a police station sign, would it cover that?
That was a big sign on the front of the
Okay,
building.
so a new sign wouldn't be that big, okay.
So we're gonna be able to do most of this in-house and for negligible cost.
Yeah, I think we can, walk across, get our paint and so forth next door, and it'll match all that stuff out. I don't, like I said, the labor stuff, patching holes, drywall stuff, it's the majority of that stuff we're gonna be able to do in-house.
And we've got that 2-inch water line reduced down to 1 inch now?
Yep.
Good. Good.
On your carpet cleaning, have you contacted someone yet?
I talked to Sandy Gersh come over, it was not Gersh now, I forget what her last name is. It's Gersh's carpet cleaning. Sandy come over, made a draw out, and sent us a quote for that $1,350. It's a local company, so.
Yeah, I know that. I just suggest to you that you might kind of make an agreement with them. You're going to clean it before you move in.
Right.
So moving in could cause some, I would probably ask them to say, hey, once we're moved in, will you come back and do what we need if there's anything to be done? Because you could come up with some situations, that.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of play it by ear, hopefully, it's nice weather when we move in, we're not gonna track much in.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for the building right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am?
Any other questions? If not, thank you. Clerk treasurer reports.
Are we missing a couple things here?
Yes.
Oh, we
The town
did
hall
IT
windows and
update.
the IT.
IT windows.
Yeah, sorry. IT updates.
The IT update would be the two companies that have currently put in all of the equipment here over these last couple of years. Has been having some Zoom meetings with us. They're going to put together some pricing for IT service and support. Doesn't mean we have to use them, but depending on what all it means to what kind of service we need and what kind of support we need. The one company will do that support by an hourly rate. We call them when we have a down computer, we have a down line, down internet, and they would come in and do that. It's about $200 an hour. So we can set up a contract just to do the minimum of whatever it's going to take. The other company's still putting together some pricing. She did talk with what we currently have so that they know what we have, but how is it all hooked up? So that other company's still supposed to get some numbers to us. They can present at our council meeting if we wish. We can do one in February, or I said if we're going to have them present, we want a short meeting. And it's not so much that we need to know what they do as a company as to what they're going to do for us if we need that IT service. So that's where we're at with the IT updates.
And phones and stuff like that, Stan?
Oh, phones, that's
So, yeah, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go with internet-based phones. So basically it'll look like a desk phone, but it's going to be cloud-based like a cell phone. And we are getting some information around on that and phone information. And we've got a list of, theoretically, we've got a list of all the phones that we're supposed to have in the town, which some don't exist anymore or whatever. But we're working through that, and we're going to get some cell phones, and we'll probably start with one of the outlying facilities. I suggest wastewater, and we'll go ahead and swap their phone system over so that we kind of know what we're doing as we go through the town and replace them phones. So
It's my understanding on the phones that county is no longer going to service our phones in the middle of February.
it is true.
And we may have until June or July for the IT services.
Right.
And that's why we're having to do all this, because the county is weaning us off their system
Yes.
for whatever reason.
That is true. And most of the rest of the towns have done that already.
And
They're moving off of it.
the sad thing is just after all this money was spent in the last year or two to upgrade at their demand, now we have to change everything again.
Well, we may not have to change the IT system. Depends on what we want to do. Depends on what they're going to charge us to service what we have. We can keep what we have and have no more additional expense other than whatever service we want to pay for. For the time being, that might be the simplest way until we know what we need, because I think we can do some more study on what do we actually have to have. You know, Vern does theirs outside of the house, but theirs isn't inexpensive to have with Reboot, so we wouldn't want to necessarily just go there until we know what we have to have.
Will we be changing domain names? Or will we?
What did he talk about doing?
No, we're fine with
that's Because we have our
townofgeneva.in.gov.
own.
We wouldn't change that. The problem that they ran into is the adamscounty.in.gov was a domain name that they had on their side, but when they couldn't support the Geneva as well. So we'd be able to maintain our geneva.in.gov domain. We just won't be able to share it with Adams County.
We have to do all this duo second level security and everything?
Negative. That's Adams County's deal.
Okay. Anything else?
Town hall windows, I think was the other thing.
Yippee-ki-yay, yippee. Town hall windows updates.
We had a meeting this morning. We had 3 contractors show up. 4 were invited. The one contractor had a conflict because he was pouring concrete today and his workers didn't show up and he could not make it. But he's going to come in and get the information that we gave these other. The reason we did the pre-bid meeting is so that they're all on the same page. They all are bidding on the same thing. They all have the same information. And they're going to report back with their quotes by our next meeting. And I invited him to come to the meeting, so he's up to date on what's going on also. So that's a report. Everything's moving forward.
So we probably need to put out an official advertisement for bids.
Do we have an expected cost for this? I'll have to put this chart here. I know that gives you the threshold for when it becomes required to put out bids, request for bids.
We had a quote about 5 years or so ago, and it was over 14,000, if that helps you.
Yeah, I'm reading here, if it's between really up to the $150,000 mark for repairs, maintenance, and improvements, we can take 3 quotes instead of sealed bids.
Okay.
So what we did,
And then the three quotes.
we had, one of the contractors was gracious enough to go price the windows, look at them, and get the specs. So they're all bidding, they're not going out and looking at different windows, we're all looking at the same window from the same dealer. And what they're gonna be bidding on really is their own work, their labor. And the windows are gonna be already fixed for everybody, the same.
So Nick,
So
you're essentially
that-
saying we don't have to ask
Yeah.
for any bids, we're just gonna get
Correct.
our quotes and then decide on one of the quotes.
As long as we have at least three and it's under 150,000.
If we were to ask to have the quotes in by end of business on Monday, the 9th of February, then we can make a decision on the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. And that's going to be the first phase of our mold remediation, is getting the windows fixed. Now clerk treasurer reports.
You all should have in your folders, Nick, I wasn't sure if you needed them, I didn't think you did, I don't think I put it in your folder. The nepotism and conflict of interest forms.
Yeah, we got that.
You all have to do them every year, if I could just have them by the end of the week, that would be great. Since our police department now has town-issued phones, the one thing that we do not have in our employee handbook is a mobile device policy, which I would encourage. It just keeps everything on the up and up. Everybody should have a copy of that in your folder. I contacted Refocus HR, who's our person that we go to. This is just what she gave me, that we go in and use that pretty much for everybody. Just kind of set some guidelines. So that should probably be added as long as council approves it and they're okay with it.
We actually already have it in there. She added a few sentences.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. She kind of expanded on it a little bit. Yeah.
Do I have a motion to revise the handbook as suggested?
Would we want to keep the word at the beginning, employees, or would we want it to say police officers, because they're the only ones that actually have it?
My only concern is down the road, if maybe we decide the workforce manager were to get one or something, it would already be in there. I don't think it's going to make a difference if it just says employees.
I would recommend keeping it broad with employees.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just something I noticed.
So do I have a motion to revise our handbook as suggested in this from Tina?
I make a motion that we do the revision that was put before us.
Have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes.
One more thing before you get into the approval of the recon. You appointed people. I need to appoint my deputy clerk today. I'm assuming that wasn't done. So I'm going to appoint Sally Burry. I've already discussed it with her and she was on board.
Have that down for
We have a motion to approve Tina's recommendation.
I don't think we.
Actually, that's Tina's
Yes,
choice.
it is?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
My choice.
You get to pick.
We don't get any say in that.
Now the rest of it's yours, which is the recons and the APDs.
Approval of the 2025 bank recon.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
If no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Approval of the 2025, December 2025 APV.
Are we
Make a motion.
including the
Second.
new one with that, or is it going to be two motions?
It'd be two motions.
Okay.
That's staying as a motion.
No further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Here, second.
Yeah, you're right.
And then we have the approval of the 2025 accounts payable vouchers.
You're just talking about the year-end corrections?
Yeah, yes, that was just when we went to close the year, those were just a few things that didn't close or something is what Bill was saying, and that's why we had to put it on the APB vouchers when we close the year, which is closed.
Because these are from a long time ago, and
Just
this
in
is something
2025.
that just didn't go through. Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the additional accounts payable vouchers.
Second.
And second? He was quicker. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Any town attorney comments or updates?
Nothing else for me.
I have one thing we'll bring up, because it's the first time we'll bring it up, and then we'll put it on somewhere on the agenda. At some point, the council may discuss, you've been getting emails from the TIF board through me, some additional conversation about what the TIF board would like to do going forward with some of the funds. And there were some suggestions, some things Bill was able to find out from Nick we cannot do, which I forwarded all that to you after I forwarded the original ideas. So some things we cannot do, some we can, but it sounds as if the council, if they so please, can start thinking of some ideas of how some of these funds might be utilized for the town that we can present to the TIF board. So I'd like as a council for us to start considering that. So, and I'm saying that because I'm on the TIF board, that's why I'm bringing it to you.
If there are no objections, we can put that on the agenda for next month.
Okay.
Any other comments from council or updates? Our next scheduled meeting is on Tuesday, February the 10th, 2026 for the regular council, and Monday, this coming Monday, the 19th at 5 p.m. for the executive session. There's no further business to come before the board.